Can a single pair of jeans really make you look 10 years younger or instantly older? The answer is yes, and I have seen it happen many times. After 50, countless women quietly push denim to the back of their closets, believing it belongs to a younger generation or that it no longer flatters their changing bodies. The truth is quite the opposite. The right pair of jeans can be the most powerful tool in your wardrobe, refining your silhouette, lifting your confidence, and revealing a version of yourself that feels vibrant and sophisticated. Jeans have no age limit. They are not defined by decades or trends, but by cut, fabric, and styling. A poor fit can make you feel restricted and highlight areas you would rather soften. But the right design can lengthen the leg, smooth the lines, and create an ease that reads as effortless elegance. Choosing wisely transforms denim from a casual basic into a statement of style. In this video, we will explore 5 silhouettes that are especially effective for women after 50. Each one is more than a garment. It is a strategy for looking polished, comfortable, and confident at any stage of life. Along the way, I'll share practical tips on pairing these jeans with tops, shoes, and accessories to create complete outfits that are modern, versatile, and entirely wearable. By the end, you may realize that denim isn't something to abandon. It is something to reclaim with intention. What may surprise you most is that some of the cuts we'll discuss are styles you may have overlooked or dismissed in the past. Yet when approached with the right eye, they can completely reframe how you see yourself in the mirror. That is the power of denim when chosen with precision and worn with confidence. 5. Straight soft structure jeans. Many women over 50 quietly retire their jeans, believing denim no longer flatters a body that has changed with time. In reality, the problem isn't jeans themselves, but the wrong cut. The straight soft structure jean is one of the most reliable options for women past midlife. Designed to fall in a clean line from the hip to the hem, it balances comfort with polish. It neither clings tightly to the body nor adds unnecessary bulk, which makes it the perfect ally for women who want ease without sacrificing elegance. The strength of this style lies in its ability to create a longer, leaner silhouette. After 50, firmness in the thighs and midsection may not be what it once was, and overly rigid denim often highlights those changes. A straight leg in a soft, fluid fabric does the opposite. It skims rather than squeezes, smoothing the outline of the body. A study by the Pantone Color Institute found that darker neutrals can visually reduce perceived width by up to 20%, which is why shades like navy, charcoal, and matte black are especially effective for this cut. When styling this jean, think in terms of modern classics. A white silk blouse tucked slightly at the waist, paired with refined loafers or low mules, gives an effortless sophistication. A slim belt defines the waist without cutting the body in half, and a structured tote adds balance to the streamlined leg. This combination works as seamlessly for lunch with friends as it does for a casual office setting. Swap the blouse for a fine-gauge pastel cardigan and add a printed scarf if you prefer a softer, more feminine mood. I once worked with a client, 61 years old, who had avoided jeans for nearly a decade. She insisted they made her feel heavy and dated. I encouraged her to try a pair of navy straight soft structure jeans with a tailored blazer. At her granddaughter's birthday party, her daughter leaned over and told her she looked younger and more refined than she had in years. That single outfit shifted her entire perception of what denim could mean at her age. The real question isn't whether jeans are still appropriate after 50, it's which jeans. The straight soft structure cut offers a quiet confidence. It lengthens the line of the leg, provides freedom of movement, and blends seamlessly into both casual and semi-formal wardrobes. If you have dismissed jeans as a relic of your younger years, it may be time to reconsider. Ask yourself, when was the last time you put on a pair of straight-leg denim and felt genuinely comfortable? What would it mean to rediscover that ease, but in a version designed for the woman you are today? Straight soft structure jeans serve as a reminder that style after 50 is not about restriction. It is about refinement. And once you see how this cut redefines the way you look and feel, you will be ready to explore the next silhouette, one that introduces movement, a subtle flair, and an undeniably modern edge. 4. Cropped flare jeans. There is a certain magic in cropped flare jeans. At first glance, the cut seems simple, slim through the hips, opening just slightly below the knee, ending above the ankle. Yet the effect is transformative. This subtle flare draws the eye upward, elongating the legs, while the cropped hem showcases the ankle with a refined lightness. For women over 50, it delivers something rare, a silhouette that feels both dynamic and timeless. Why does this style resonate so strongly at this stage of life? Because it combines two qualities many women crave after midlife: length and movement. A cropped flare avoids the heaviness of a full flare and sidesteps the stiffness of a straight leg. It introduces a rhythm to your outfit, a sense of motion that feels alive. When you walk, the slight kick of fabric around the ankle adds energy without overwhelming the figure. It's as though the jeans themselves do part of the work of making you look taller, sleeker, more confident. Styling cropped flare jeans offers endless opportunity. A fine-gauge short-sleeved knit in a neutral tone keeps the look streamlined. Pair it with a cropped blazer that ends at the waist, and suddenly your proportions shift. The waist appears higher, the legs longer, the figure more balanced. Footwear is critical here. Slingback heels highlight the ankle beautifully. Moccasins bring casual sophistication, and low-block heels lend polish without sacrificing comfort. Each choice alters the energy of the look, proving how versatile this cut can be. Consider Diane Keaton, a style icon well into her 70s. She has been photographed in cropped flare jeans paired with an oversized white shirt, and the result is undeniably chic. The jeans balance her signature masculine tailoring with a touch of modern femininity. That single outfit reminds us that cropped flare denim doesn't belong to youth culture. It belongs to women who understand the quiet authority of dressing with intention. I've seen this in my own work. A woman in her late 50s once told me she had stopped wearing flared jeans decades ago, associating them with the hippie look of her youth. I suggested she try a cropped version in a clean medium wash, worn with a fitted cardigan and low-heeled loafers. The moment she looked in the mirror, her posture changed. She stood taller, smiled wider, and said, "I feel like I've taken 20 pounds off without losing a thing." Her friends later confirmed she appeared slimmer and fresher, even though nothing about her body had changed, only the line of her clothing. Let me ask you, have you ever avoided flare jeans because you feared they would overwhelm your frame? Or perhaps you remember them from decades past and worry they look dated? The cropped flare rewrites that narrative. It's a modern translation, sleek enough to wear with tailored pieces, soft enough to move with you throughout the day. Instead of fighting your proportions, it works with them, creating harmony from hip to hem. Color and fabric matter here as well. Medium blue with a clean finish feels fresh for daytime. A gray-blue wash adds sophistication, while ivory cropped flares, when cut well, bring a luminous effect to summer wardrobes. Choose denim with a slight stretch and enough structure to hold its shape. Too rigid and the flare loses its fluidity. Too thin, and it clings in all the wrong places. When styled correctly, cropped flare jeans are more than a trend. They are a conversation between past and present. They remind us of youthful ease, but with the refinement and perspective of maturity. They tell the world that you haven't stopped evolving, that your style is not stuck in a single decade, but alive and responsive to who you are now. And that's the secret to longevity in fashion. Not clinging to what once was, but translating it into what works today. Cropped flares prove that you can revisit an idea from your past wardrobe, and with subtle changes, make it entirely your own again. Once you experience how this cut transforms the way you look and feel, you'll be ready to explore the next denim essential, one that carries brightness and elegance in equal measure. #3 White jeans. Few garments spark as much hesitation as white jeans. Many women over 50 instinctively avoid them, convinced that the color will accentuate every curve, every line, or worse, appear see-through. Yet when chosen carefully, white denim can be one of the most transformative pieces in a wardrobe. It does more than brighten an outfit. It illuminates the face, softens the complexion, and conveys an effortless freshness. For women in their 60s and beyond, that brightness translates directly into vitality. The key lies in the details. Fabric must be substantial enough to hold its shape without clinging, ideally with a slight stretch for comfort. Transparency is the enemy. Cheap denim often reveals pocket linings or undergarments, which instantly undermines elegance. Another common pitfall is bulky side pockets that add weight where none is desired. Seek a straight cut or a gentle carrot fit. Slim at the hip, tapering softly to the ankle. This combination sculpts the silhouette without exaggeration, striking the balance between structure and fluidity. When styled well, white denim rivals any tailored trouser. Imagine a camel blazer over a nude silk blouse, finished with beige slingbacks and a boxy structured bag. The result is sophistication in its purest form, light, polished, and ageless. For spring and summer, white jeans act as the perfect foundation for pastels or jewel tones. A lavender knit, a blush blouse, or a deep emerald top. Even in cooler months, paired with a navy coat or a gray cashmere sweater, they continue to project clarity and refinement. The psychological impact of white clothing is worth noting. A 2022 consumer behavior study reported that individuals wearing lighter colors were perceived as more approachable and youthful by 73% of respondents. That perception matters, particularly in professional or social settings where confidence is as much about how others see you as how you feel. White jeans, when worn with intention, signal openness, energy, and self-assurance. I recall a client in one of my workshops, 65 years old, who confessed she had never owned a pair of white pants. She believed they would highlight her stomach and thighs, areas she preferred to downplay. We selected a pair of straight-leg white jeans in a dense cotton blend, then paired them with a blush silk blouse and a pastel scarf knotted lightly at the neck. When she looked in the mirror, her first reaction was silence, followed by a smile. Later that day, she shared that friends told her she looked as radiant as springtime. That single compliment shifted her mindset. She realized white wasn't exposing her flaws, it was reframing her presence. Ask yourself, when was the last time you tried on white denim without judgment, without assuming it wasn't meant for you? What would it feel like to see brightness reflected not just in your outfit, but in your expression? Clothing has the power to shift perception, both internal and external. Sometimes all it takes is daring to step into a shade you've dismissed for years. The beauty of white denim lies in its duality. It is both bold and understated, a blank canvas that can be as classic or as daring as you choose. Worn with neutrals, it radiates quiet luxury. Paired with color, it becomes a backdrop that lets every other element shine. More than any other jean, it forces us to confront preconceptions about what we can or cannot wear at a certain age. And in breaking those rules, it offers freedom. Once you discover how white denim reframes your look, you may find yourself rethinking not only color, but cut. Because the next step moves beyond brightness and into refinement. Denim tailored with the sharpness of suiting, softened by the ease of everyday wear. #2 Tailored pleated jeans. There are moments in life when neither a pair of classic jeans nor a formal trouser feels quite right. You want ease, but you also want intention. That is where tailored pleated jeans step in, merging the relaxed nature of denim with the polish of suiting. For women over 50, this cut represents more than clothing. It represents the ability to move seamlessly between worlds. The design is distinctive. Front pleats create vertical lines that visually slim the midsection, while the structured waistband defines shape without constriction. Unlike rigid work trousers, denim with tailored details bends with you. It has resilience, a lived-in quality, yet it never appears careless. Think of it as sartorial diplomacy, part casual, part refined, entirely modern. Style it as you would a fine pair of trousers. A crisp cotton shirt tucked neatly at the waist, a long-line blazer grazing the hips, a medium-width leather belt anchoring the look, and pointed low heels that elongate the line of the leg. Accessories should echo this quiet authority. A structured handbag, perhaps a silk scarf with restrained pattern. The result is neither office uniform nor weekend casual. It is a statement of balance, the sophistication of someone who understands subtle contrasts. The effect of pleats deserves special attention. In a 2021 survey of fashion consumers by YouGov, more than half of respondents over 55 cited comfort around the waist and stomach as their top priority when buying pants. Pleats address that directly. They add breathing room, ensuring fabric glides rather than grips, while the vertical crease draws the eye upward, creating length. For anyone concerned with midsection volume, this is an elegant solution that avoids compromise. Consider Helen Mirren, an icon of ageless style. Photographed in tailored pleated jeans with a blazer and oversized sunglasses, she proved what many forget: elegance has no expiration date. The denim kept the look grounded, approachable. The tailoring gave it gravitas. That balance is precisely why this cut resonates. It tells the world you are not trying to appear younger, you are asserting who you are now with clarity and composure. In my own experience, I once styled a 70-year-old client who felt trapped between too casual and too formal. She had charity luncheons, gallery visits, and casual dinners, and she dreaded changing multiple times a day. We built her wardrobe around pleated denim in charcoal gray. With sneakers and a cardigan, she could stroll through a museum. With a silk blouse and a blazer, she was ready for an evening reception. She later told me it was the first time in years she felt her clothes matched her life. So let me ask, how often do you find yourself stuck in that in-between space, unsure whether your jeans feel too relaxed or your trousers feel too stiff? What would it mean to own one piece that dissolves the dilemma entirely? Tailored pleated denim offers exactly that. It adapts to context, yet never loses its refinement. Color and finish deepen the effect. Navy communicates authority, charcoal adds discretion, camel softens the palette. A matte wash reads more sophisticated than high-contrast fading. Minimal hardware, clean seams, and subtle stitching ensure the piece holds its character. Unlike trend-driven denim, this is an investment cut. Its appeal lies in timeless proportion, not seasonal detail. Ultimately, pleated jeans remind us that maturity in style is not about extremes. It is not about clinging to youth or surrendering to uniformity. It is about negotiation, the art of inhabiting multiple identities with ease. This cut exemplifies that balance, making it one of the most powerful tools in a woman's wardrobe past 50. And once you've embraced its quiet authority, the next evolution awaits: a return to subtlety through color, where softness itself becomes sophistication. #1 Modern Gray Jeans. Black has long been considered the safe choice. It feels slimming, authoritative, endlessly versatile. Yet for many women over 50, black denim can be harsher than intended. It sometimes casts shadows on the face, exaggerates lines, or feels too rigid against changing skin tones. Gray, on the other hand, tells a different story. It offers neutrality without severity, refinement without heaviness. Between the deep midnight of black and the classic blue of traditional denim lies a spectrum of grays, pearl, smoke, pale charcoal, that brings softness and balance to any look. The beauty of gray denim lies in its adaptability. It works as a blank canvas, yet unlike white, it doesn't demand perfection. It is forgiving, approachable, and elegant in its understatement. Shades of gray reflect light in ways black cannot. They soften features, brighten the complexion, and frame the wearer rather than overpower her. A 2020 fashion psychology study found that people perceived wearers of softer neutrals, such as gray, as more approachable and trustworthy than those in darker hues. That subtle shift in perception can change how you are received in social or professional spaces. Styling gray denim is about embracing quiet luxury. A blush tone knit adds warmth, preventing the look from feeling cold. A floral silk scarf introduces movement and color without breaking harmony. Patent loafers lend polish, while a shoulder strap bag maintains modern ease. This is an outfit that works for an afternoon art exhibit, a coffee meeting, or a casual dinner with friends, each element enhancing the other, never competing. The effect is effortless refinement. I recall a client, 58 years old, who had always relied on black jeans. She believed they were slimming and practical, but confessed she felt weighed down whenever she wore them. We introduced a pair of smoke gray straight jeans, styled with a pale rose sweater and soft metallic loafers. The reaction from her friends was immediate. They told her she looked lighter, more relaxed, even younger. Nothing dramatic had changed, no haircut, no makeup trick, just the subtle shift of black to gray. She later told me she had donated half her black denim, realizing they no longer reflected the woman she wanted to be. Have you ever considered how color alone can alter not only your look, but also your mood? Imagine standing in front of the mirror wearing gray denim instead of black. Do you see a face softened by light rather than shadow? Do you sense ease where there used to be severity? These are the small details that create the difference between simply getting dressed and truly presenting yourself with confidence. Fabric and finish matter here as much as color. Opt for a matte surface rather than heavy fading. It preserves sophistication. Mid-weight denim with a touch of stretch maintains comfort while holding shape. Lighter grays feel fresh for spring and summer, while deeper charcoal works beautifully in fall and winter. Unlike seasonal trends, gray denim transcends the calendar. It is a perennial neutral that adapts year-round. What makes this option so compelling is its emotional impact. Gray feels modern without being loud, current without being trendy. It communicates balance, not as stark as black, not as casual as blue, not as high maintenance as white. It is, quite simply, the middle ground many women have been searching for. And sometimes, it is in the middle that we find our most authentic expression. Once you experience how gray denim reframes your appearance, softening the face, lifting the mood, inviting compliments, you may never return fully to black. Instead, you may find yourself rotating shades of pearl, smoke, and pale charcoal, each one whispering refinement in its own way. And as you step into this softer spectrum, you discover that elegance does not always need to shout. Sometimes it speaks in the quiet tones of gray. Jeans are never just clothing. They are a reflection of how you choose to tell your story. After 50, the goal is not to dress younger. It is to dress right, to highlight your confidence, your elegance, and the presence you have earned through experience. The right pair of jeans has the power to do more than flatter your body. It can reset how you see yourself, as if turning the page to a new chapter of your personal style. You don't need dozens of pairs. You only need the right ones, chosen with care, worn with intention. This month, I encourage you to experiment. Try one of the 5 silhouettes we've discussed and see how it changes not only the way you look, but the way you feel. And when you do, share your experience. Leave a comment with the words, "I choose to shine after 50." I read every message and I want to hear your story. If this video has inspired you, remember to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you for spending this time with me today, for continuing to invest in yourself, and for being part of a community that proves elegance has no age. I'll see you in the next video.